Hi, how's it going?
Hey, so I've heard that you kind of look uneasy and like you're kind of stressed out a little bit. So can you kind of tell me what's been going on and why
Yeah,
why you're feeling that way?
sure. Well, I mean, it's a little bit stressful for me. Obviously, I'm new to the company, but I'm performing under goal. The reason I decided to meet with you today is because I kind of thought that I'd be able to sort of manage it and get my numbers up on my own. I'm obviously underperforming from what everybody else is doing, and so that's kind of the reason that I wanted to meet with you today. Was just hopefully to get some feedback because it's just hard for me. I mean, at this point, I'm almost thinking maybe I should just find another location to work.
Yeah, and we definitely see potential in you. We don't want to see you go elsewhere. So what do you think that you could do to try to improve upon where you're at now?
Well, I feel like I've been doing a lot of things to try to improve. I mean, I was doing the pitch that obviously all the other salespeople are doing. I've tried to make some improvements to that. It just really hasn't been working. I'm just kind of at my wits' end at this point.
Um, so what what would you like to see happen ultimately?
As in, what would I like to see happen with my sales?
Like what are you hoping to get help with, I guess? Where would you like to see yourself going?
Sure. So the main issue that I'm running into is I get on the phone with people and I start out the pitch. Hey, this is Jessi. We'd like to discuss some things that we're able to do with you, and then people hang up. And that's my biggest issue right now is even getting the conversation starting with customers on the phone.
All right. So how about we like try doing a role play real quick and you just act like your usual self and
Okay.
we'll see how that goes and I can maybe try to give you a little bit of feedback and maybe we can then switch roles and
Awesome.
yeah.
That sounds amazing. Okay, great. So kind of like on the phone.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Jessi with Tech Hub. Just hoping to get some different solutions that I might be able to help your company out with.
Okay, well, what do you guys offer?
We offer a lot of different tech solutions. Typically, what we specialize in is helping companies expand into the tech arena more, helping them automate more of their processes.
Okay. I don't know if I can really need any of that.
Oh, okay. Well, appreciate your time today.
Okay. All right. So I think some of what I saw in there is that when they said that didn't have, um, they didn't think they could use any of your product, you should help them to dig a little deeper and see if there is any solution that you can help them to discover why they would need our product.
Okay.
So just dig a little deeper and we'll try to go from there.
Okay, great.
So I guess we'll switch roles now, and so I'll take your position and we'll see if you can learn anything from that.
Okay.
All right. So, hi, this is Jordan from Tech Hub, and I'm calling to see if you would be interested in what we have to offer.
What exactly do you have to offer?
We have a lot of tech softwares that could help manage your sales reps and your other managing of sales.
I don't know if that'd be something that we'd be interested in.
Oh, really? So what do you guys currently use?
Currently, we're just kind of using our own thing. We've used a lot of Excel, so we're not really getting into the software as much. We're just basically doing most of the processes on our own.
Well, some of the products that we actually have can actually make it more efficient than what Excel offers. So I believe that you could use our product to actually replace Excel and actually boost your company's performance.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I think that might be something that we'd be interested in. Obviously, trying to get to a place where I can boost performance better.
Awesome.
Sweet. Wow, that was great. I'm glad that we role played it. It helped me kind of get a better vision for where I was going with that.
Yeah. So, would you like to maybe kind of go and take that and give that a try, and then maybe we can meet up again like next week and see if we can tweak it a little bit more and make other changes if necessary, or
yeah,
see how that goes.
That sounds great.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. Thanks for meeting with me today, Jordon.
Thank you.
Woo, man, you killed it. That was so much better than yesterday. Holy cow. Man, you're already a professional. Okay, so let's switch now. Jordon, welcome to my office. Thanks so much for taking the time to visit with me today.
Thank you.
We really enjoyed having you here on the team for the last little while, and we appreciate what you've brought so far. Kind of help me understand a little bit about what's going on in your life recently.
You know, I'm just kind of been real busy, stressed at home, and then having to come to work, but I'm trying to put that aside when I'm coming to work, but I'm just having some troubles with, making the necessary sales, and like they don't want to be on the phone with me for too long, and it just seems that our conversations are more like personal based. Like I like to kind of go off the script a little bit to make it more personal and ask them what their favorite kind of dog is and different things like that to make it more personal and to get to know each other a little bit.
Sure. So you're saying that so you're having some stresses at home. Is that more stress that's caused because you're worried about going into work, or is that more stresses that are at home?
I think it's a bit of a mixture. I think I'm taking some of the stresses from work to home.
Right.
And then it just adds to the little small stresses that I have at home. It just makes it a bigger stress.
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's kind of compounding as it goes on.
Yeah.
I totally get that. Awesome. So here's kind of my two goals in this meeting today. I'm wanting to kind of get more of a feel for where you're at and your goals with the company, even some of your life goals, and how I can be a part of helping you out. My job is 100% to help you be successful. So if you are successful, then I'm going to be fulfilled as your coach. And that's all that I want. For right now, let's set aside the numbers. Let's set aside everything else. My most important goal is that you're achieving what you want to achieve. And so that's kind of one part of what I wanted to talk to you about today. So kind of help me understand, what are some of your sales goals? You're saying that you're having a hard time with some of those areas, and we'll get to that later on in the meeting, but kind of help me understand, what are some of your sales goals that you have for yourself?
Well, I think really to just keep them on the phone and actually close a deal.
Okay. So your biggest goal right now is just even to get to the point where you can close a deal.
Yeah, because
okay.
I'm not closing as many deals as I would like.
Okay.
I definitely want to see some major improvements there.
Okay. Amazing. So some of your sales goals are just to be able to get to the point where you're closing a sale. Awesome. And so along this path of closing the sale, do you feel like your biggest hiccup is at the beginning when you're building rapport?
Yeah, because I feel like when I ask them the personal questions, we just get into like personal conversation, and the moment that I start taking it back to business mode, they get closed off and just want to get off the phone.
Okay. Okay. And do you have, so imagine yourself, you're in the situation where you're closing this deal. What are some scenarios that you have felt like, wow, if I could implement this would help me be a better salesperson? Like, what are some ideas that you have as far, obviously you're the person who has your unique personality. Even the fact that you're able to get those personal conversations going is amazing. I mean, there's tons of salespeople that aren't even able to get to a point where they're getting into a personal conversation where they're listening to the people and the people are engaging with them at a personal level. So that's an amazing thing. Where do you foresee yourself being able, like, so I guess what I'm asking is, how do you foresee yourself being able to use that gift that you have and tweaking it a little bit?
Like, maybe I can, I'm just wondering maybe if I'm even asking the right personal questions. Maybe it's just like, maybe I'm asking personal questions that are hard to like switch back to business mode, or maybe they're enjoying the conversation too much that they just kind of just look at me as a friend and not or like an acquaintance, and not someone that's trying to help better their daily lives through a business deal. Or
sure. So kind of give me an example of give me say 5 examples of some of the personal questions you're asking.
So I ask them, I like to ask them what their favorite dog is.
Are you a dog person?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then ask them like about any vacations. Just sometimes I'll ask them about like favorite foods. It just kind of depends on whatever I'm in the mood to really ask them and what's kind of on my mind. Sometimes I might ask them what their favorite food is if I'm looking forward to lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Awesome. Okay. So you be the customer, and I'll try and ask some of these questions, and we'll just sort of role play it and see where we end up.
Okay.
So you'll be yourself, and I'll just be the customer.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead and start.
Hey.
Oh, I had that backwards. I'm going to be you, and you're going to be the customer.
Oh.
So I'll ask some of these questions, and then give me some of the typical responses, and then we'll see kind of what you're experiencing, so I can get kind of a better feel of where you're at.
I'm the customer?
Yes.
So you're calling me?
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
I'm too mixed up. Okay, so perfect. Hey, this is Jordan with Turkey Meat Cuts. How's it going today?
It's going well. Just a typical day.
Yeah? Awesome. Hey, just wanted to ask you, just had kind of a random question. What's your favorite dog?
Golden retrievers, maybe labs. They're pretty fun dogs.
So you're more of a bigger dog person.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. It's funny because ever since growing up, I hated the little dogs. They're so yappy, and I think, man, you know what I mean? I almost feel like, as apart from being loyal, they're more of a nuisance. So I'm kind of with you on that. I definitely prefer the bigger dogs when it comes to dogs. So I'm definitely on that page. Hey, the reason I'm calling today is we're actually opening up some different at some other grocery stores in the area, and we're wanting to give more of a discounted deal. Obviously, since we have more people opening up in the area, we can give you guys rates unlike we've ever been able to offer before, and kind of like to look into some of those rates with you. Is now a good time to visit, or would maybe later be a better time?
I mean, I'm pretty busy. I have to get back to preparing the meat to put on the shelf and everything.
Right. Yeah, they don't pay you to sit on the phone now, do they?
No.
Absolutely. Great. So would it be okay if we go ahead and just schedule the visit for a time that you have open. And I'd love to just actually, I'll be in the area, and I'd love to just actually swing by and go ahead and take some time to just sit down with you and go over some of the numbers.
How much time would you need? So I'm a busy guy at work.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the meat's not going to get on the shelf by itself, right? I think probably 30 minutes to 45 minutes is going to be totally adequate.
Can you like make it be like 20? Okay.
Sure. Yeah, not a problem. So it's Tuesday of next week. I'm going to be in town Tuesday of what next week and Wednesday. When is the best time for you on those 2 days?
You said between Tuesday and Wednesday. I mean, probably either could work, but what are you thinking?
Okay, perfect. So let's cut the role play right there. What were some things that you noticed that went good, or some things that you noticed that went bad? I'm obviously not a perfect example, so go ahead and just hit me with your initial thoughts of like, well, that went really good. I'd like to try that, and other things of like, you know what, that probably in my scenario is not going to work for me.
I think what I noticed is that you really kept, like if they were given an excuse, you tried to find another way to where you could still talk with them, like talk with them at another time, and you tried to make it, you were trying to show the importance of what you had to offer. Right? It's kind of what I was getting out of it. That it's really important that you get to speak with them and that you have something good to offer them, it seemed.
Okay. And what ways could you improve in certain areas so that you could elicit those same emotions from the customers when you're speaking to them?
I think maybe, so I think it would be important for me to keep the personal conversation as brief as possible.
Okay.
So I probably can work on that a little bit.
Okay.
And then probably talk with them, like, ask them if they have the time to talk, and try to be considerate of their time and try to work to their schedule.
Sure. Absolutely. I think those are some fantastic goals for you. And I'd love it if you would just take a second to write those down and then try and implement them. See how it goes. And take notes, take handwritten notes on how that works out for you. That's something I've done personally. And then I'd love to meet with you again next week, and we'll just go over some examples of how it worked, whether those are positive or negative examples. Does that sound like something that's going to work for you, that's going to help you along?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think that I can totally apply what I've learned here today, and then we can definitely look forward to meeting again next week to discuss how it worked and see if I need any more improvements.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome. Jordon, it was so good to meet with you. We'll see you next week.